we can live more sustainably and in better harmony with our surroundings. We just don't.
We're too far from intimacy with the land to know what it's saying to us.
So nature will heal itself if given the chance. I don't think we're giving it that chance. We've overwhelmed it.
Nature has an incredible buffer built in. The wetlands hold water, and yet they let that water also go into our groundwater. Having the trees and everything around are very important to stabilize these extremes that we see out in the world today that we know are different than what we've seen in the past. Being a part of the greater community of conservation, that's what's going to get us through as people dealing with these extreme floods and droughts and things of that nature.
One thing that really provides hope is the work that we're doing right here in the Driftless area.
We are against trouble right now, but there are a lot of people working to fix that, so I think that we can fix that for the future.
I think this work has a local impact on what is actually a global problem.
They were so thoughtful and so generous in developing this organization nearly 20 years ago. They were really very forward-thinking people. The work we do is helping landowners make their dreams come true.
We work with willing landowners, communities, to protect what people hold near and dear to them. And it could be a prairie, it could be farmland, it could be wetlands, it could be whatever on their property that they really hold dear to them. It has a deep connection to their soul.
The work that we're doing is not looking at the short term, and it's not looking at what's happening in my lifetime or the lifetime of our board members. It's looking at what's happening between now and the next 100 to 200 years, ensuring that after we're all gone, we're leaving this place better than we found it.
We are connected to the land. I think there's a lot of research that shows that people feel better, their mental health is better if they're able to get out on the land.
It's healthy and you get to learn a lot from being outdoors, and it's just grounding to be out there and just like to get connected to nature.
We have an outreach coordinator who does just a wonderful job of bringing young people onto our projects and showing them what it's like to be in nature.
It has to do simply with getting out. And then a kind of observation, appreciation for what you see, whether it's your backyard or a vast expanse.
We're right where the deciduous forests from out east meet the tallgrass prairie from the west, so we have extra biodiversity from just our location and the topography in this area. We've got north-facing slopes, south-facing, east and west. Each one, the direction affects the soil moisture, and you get completely different habitats. So just in terms of sheer biodiversity, we're in an amazing area.
But this area is very unique, this driftless area, and it has to be protected. It just has to.
Preserving the natural beauty and preserving the natural environment will be valuable in making La Crosse and having La Crosse continue to be a desirable place to live.
Over the last 20 years, I think I've learned that I can't be a conservation purist, that I have to think about how we balance the different uses for development, for recreation, for nature.
If we don't preserve these lands and they are developed, then we've lost that forever.
We don't make some effort to preserve what we have, it's going to be all subdivisions and
And before you know it, once it's gone, it's gone.
More people are realizing this beautiful landscape is here, and they want to live here too, and that's fine, but we want to conserve some of that as it does get more developed.
A lot of people in this area really love their land, love the hills, love the bluffs, love the river. I mean, love the natural aspects of this community, and so care about it.
We're protecting really neat, significant pieces of our environment. And then we're also getting people out on that land to help restore it and bring it back to a native state.
I'm doing a year-long bat conservation project for my school. We were looking for eastern pipistrelle. We maybe found like one of them doing like mist netting on public property. But then we did an acoustic survey on a private property that was protected by the Mississippi Valley Conservancy. And we found a lot more eastern pipistrelles there than on the public property. So that definitely says something about what the Mississippi Valley Conservancy is doing and how important it is.
A lot of landowners reach a point in their life where they realize, you know what, I'm not going to be here forever, but I've been working on my property for 30, 40, 50 years, making it a beautiful habitat or a working farm, and I want to make sure that it stays that way after I'm gone.
It was the most important thing we've ever done. We did a lot of conservation projects to heal the land that was eroded and all of this of the properties that we bought. So it just made sense to keep it that way.
You need to have a legacy of some sort. You have to leave your part of the world a little better than what you found it. And so we thought, hey, this is perfect. We leave a permanent green space forever that can't be changed or modified.
Just knowing that it's always going to be that way is very, very satisfying.
I grew up enjoying this and would like to see it part of the legacy for our children.
The notion that we would break this up into yet another development, the sort of indiscriminate development and lack of concern for what we're doing to the land and how it's just diminishing in terms of the prairie and the oak savanna and so on. So this is a small thing we could do. People have to start seeing it as a problem that they can address in personal ways with a personal commitment. And it might be an easement, it might not be a donation. Jack Lee did it first, and he was our inspiration. And he's a neighbor, and that's what got us turned on to it.
We were able to sell the land, which we needed to do, and yet we were able to preserve it, you know? We were able to preserve it for our grandchildren and everybody else.
We feel it's a legacy. I think everyone needs to think about what they're going to leave behind. We feel like this is something good that we've done.
And ultimately, as I'm gone, and others are on the land that might not think so strongly about conservation, there will be challenges. And we now are relying on Mississippi Valley to meet those challenges.
We've been able to demonstrate that we have the capacity for a long-term commitment. People can be confident that when they come in and use our services to help preserve their land, that we'll be able to fulfill that commitment.
So I don't know, how do you teach people to give a damn?
Why do we work so hard? To help others understand what it means to live in right relationships with yourself, with other people, with a divine, and more than anything, with the rest of creation that we're a part of.
Everything is connected to everything else. And this is all tied together. The value of land, the value of the relationship of people with the land. There's land that needs to be rescued. When you're rescuing land, in my opinion, you're also rescuing people.
It's all part of this growing awareness of the importance of the lands that we have, and that we are a part of the land, and that we need to respect it and love it and care for it. And that's really the foundation of our organization, and what we're hoping to pass on to the people who come after us is that respect for the land and that love of the land.
And I remember as a child climbing these hills and thinking, we should be able to save this for everybody. Long ago. And here we are, doing it.